Good morning, men. Today's lesson is going to be taught via video so I can spend some time with the Programming 2 guys. Today we're going to incorporate a while loop with some if statements. Show you what things look like when we get a little more complex. So go ahead and run your macro. Let's give this a name. We'll call it while with if else. Give it a name, something along those lines. And we'll save it as a .java. And then we'll get it started. So let's throw a string in there. Set it to a default value and add our semicolon. Then if you need to declare any other variables, remember we would declare those right at the top. I'm going to indent to make it a little easier to read. Well, first let's ask a question. So I'm going to say input equals, and we'll do a J option pane. And what this one's going to do, it's going to loop as long as we don't type exit, and depending on whether we enter yes or no, what we type in the first dialog box, it's going to give us some different output. So I'm just going to say enter yes, no, or exit. Those are the three things we want users to enter. Now it's going to be possible for them, if they enter something else that's not listed here, it can get us in an endless loop, but that's okay. I'll point that out a little bit later. We can't account for everything just yet. So now I'm going to indent for this while loop. So our syntax, once again, is just like an if statement. We have our curly braces. So remember, no semicolons right here, because the while is associated with these two braces. A semicolon right there would indicate to the program or to the computer that this bit of code is just on one line and not associated with this. So we're going to set this up to be while input is not equals, in this case we'll do ignore case because we don't care if it's case sensitive. Exit. And then count our our parentheses, 1, 2, 3 opening ones. So we need 1, 2, 3 closing ones. And it doesn't do anything yet, but I'm going to compile. It helps to compile frequently. That way if you messed up, you don't want to try and type your whole program and then compile, because then you have to go back and maybe troubleshoot many things. Whereas this way, we can just troubleshoot as we go. So this is going to continually loop as long as exit is not input, and that is one of our things we're asking. So I'm going to give us some space to work in our while loop, and everything that repeats, if this does evaluate to be true, everything that repeats will be between these two curly braces. So I'm going to throw in an if statement, and I'm going to copy this to save a little time and to be lazy. If an input equals yes, remember no semicolon there. Instead we need our curly braces, opening and closing. And I'm going to copy this as well. Now if I just pasted this, notice we wouldn't be listening. It wouldn't be set equal to anything. So we might never get out of this loop because we wouldn't be able to change what input is equal to. So I want that there. My message will be just you pressed yes. And let's copy this. You can just throw in straight up if statements as opposed to an else or an else if. However, that does leave us vulnerable. If anything besides yes, no, or exit is entered, it would skip this if, and skip this if, so we could be stuck in a loop with nothing apparent and nothing readily happening. So if you wanted to be more sophisticated, you'd make this one an else if, and then have a default else down here just saying like invalid entry. You're welcome to change that if you want. So if they enter no, you typed no is probably more accurate. And let's compile. And what error do we have? Oh, we need some more curly braces. Excuse me, parentheses. So we have 1 and 2, 1 and 2. And we'll need the same here, since I copied and pasted. So if we run that, let's see what happens. Yes, you typed yes. Now here is where we would capture, on this new one, this is where we would capture an updated value for input. So if we wanted to get out of our loop, we could type exit here, or exit up here. So let's check that out. If I type yes, it keeps going back. If I type no, I type no. So it's circling back, telling me what I typed. And if I type exit at any time, I am out of the program. And just to keep this, to put another message in, just to confirm that it recognizes when we type exit, I'm going to shore these up and add comments here. Loop. When your program gets larger than you can see on the screen, it might help you to comment your loop braces, so you know that everything between here and here is what's being repeated. So just to ensure that it's gathering whether or not we type exit, I'm going to go outside of our loop, and this one won't be repeated. This will be a one-time statement that occurs before our program ends. You typed exit. So I'll compile that and run it, and I can enter yes, I'm inside our loop. Crash the program there. If I type yes, I'm inside our loop. Type no, I'm still there. If I type exit, you typed exit. So we're out of the loop right here, and then our program just has our closing curly brace and ends. So what I want you to do now, as it says on our class discussion board, try to add a loop to your long-term project, your guessing game, so that after a person guesses, it tells them if they won or lost, that they can guess again. Now don't worry about keeping track of the money just yet. You can if you're at that level, but just get the program today to repeat so that they can just keep guessing. Eventually our next step will be to set it up so that if they run out of money, they can't guess anymore. So go and try and work on that, and I think that's it.